8 years ago, I stepped into a Muay Thai gym for the first time in my life. And back then, I had no idea that this one decision would completely change my life forever. And that is because Muay Thai has really transformed me in ways that I never expected back then. It has taught me some really life-changing lessons about discipline, focus, hard work, humility, and pain. Muay Thai has really pushed me to my limits and beyond. It is by far the most challenging sport that I have ever practiced. And if I take a look at my Whoop data, 1 hour of training, I can easily burn 1000 calories or more. And in my experience, it's very hard to find a sport where you burn that much energy in such a short period of time and you have a lot of fun while doing it. And something that I really like about Muay Thai that is also quite unique for the sport is the way that it combines different disciplines like strength, flexibility, endurance, and also the mental aspect of the sport. And this is just something that makes it really fun and challenging to practice. Muay Thai is often referred to as the art of 8 limbs, and it comes originally from Thailand. And the reason why it's called the art of 8 limbs is because you are allowed to use both of your hands, both of your elbows, both your knees and your shins. And this makes it one of the most effective and dynamic martial arts that there is in the world. So my own personal journey starts many years ago. I remember when I was a young boy, let's say 10 years old, I was very curious about learning how to fight and just martial arts in general. And I think this is something that is very common for most boys that age. However, for some strange reason, I really don't know why, I ended up practicing almost any other sport in the world than martial arts. I did football, swimming, tennis, running, basketball, handball, a lot of different sports, but I never did any martial arts. So I can clearly remember this feeling I had when I was a young child, a teenager, but also as a young adult. And there was a feeling of being weak and kind of vulnerable. I knew deep down that I couldn't protect myself if I ended up in a situation where I needed to do so. And I just really didn't like that feeling of being weak and vulnerable and not being able to protect myself. I especially remember one night when I was I think 19 or 20 years old, and I was out with a lot of friends at a nightclub, and just completely out of nowhere, some random dude decided to attack my best friend in the middle of the dance floor. And it was quite weird. He was lying on top of my friend and biting him in the face. And I remember just standing there a few feet away from them doing absolutely nothing. I just completely froze and I had no idea what to do in the situation. And I've just thought about that so much, and that is one of the big reasons why I decided to start training Muay Thai. After that episode, a few years went by, and for some reason I decided to try and follow some of my dreams in life. I did a lot of things started my own business, traveled around the world, I took a driver's license to ride a motorcycle, and eventually I also gathered the courage to try out martial arts. And I didn't really know that much about martial arts, so I went to YouTube, as you always do, and I researched it for a while. And I quickly realized that Muay Thai is just one of the most effective and best martial arts out there. And a lot of professional MMA fighters, they have a background training Muay Thai. And basically that was all I needed to know to convince me to try it out. And so that is what I did. So me and my friend, we signed up for intro classes at 2 different gyms. And the first place we went to, we didn't like it at all. It was very, I don't know how to describe it, but weird, and it had an intimidating atmosphere, and we knew right away that this wasn't the gym for us. But we also signed up for another gym, the gym that I'm still a member of today, called Siam Muay Thai Gym in Copenhagen, and that was just love at first sight. I really enjoyed the atmosphere there and the culture there and the people there. And right after the first intro class, I signed up and paid in advance for 1 year's worth of training so that I would be committed to training for at least 1 year and trying it out. And just to quickly run through some of the benefits that I noticed, one of them is being physical stuff. I got in the best shape of my life. I really got flexible, and I really built up my endurance. And that is just because it is really hard physical training. So that helped me a lot in that regards. Mentally, I also saw huge improvements right from the start. And I think it's because in the beginning, everything is just new and scary. For example, I remember in the beginning, me and my friend, we would always go together. And then one day he couldn't come and I was so afraid to go to training by myself because then I didn't know who my partner would be. And I also remember clinching for the first time. And clinching is like you stand up and you kind of like wrestle with other people, but just the feeling of like hugging another sweaty guy that you don't know while he's trying to give you knees in the stomach was quite intimidating in the beginning, but again you get used to it, and now it's just something that I really look forward to, and I think that it's super fun. And I still feel this fear before like every big sparring session or something like that, and just in general I think it's a very healthy thing to do uncomfortable things on a regular basis. And you can do stuff like ice bath or cold showers or, you know, getting up early in the morning, but Muay Thai just really does all that, but just on a higher level. Because when you go to a sparring session and you don't know who is going to show up and you don't know what is going to happen, it is always like a very uncomfortable feeling. But after each sparring session, you will just feel so great and proud of yourself. And it just, when you put, like now I've been doing it for 8 years, and now I just know that I'm able to handle tough situations and that I will be fine. And I think this also translates into other areas in my life where now I'm not afraid to speak up for myself, and I'm not afraid to say no, and I'm not afraid to do challenging things, because what is more challenging than fighting random guys for like 1 hour and getting beat up? You learn a lot from that. I guarantee you'll learn a lot from that. And then also it's a great feeling knowing that you can stay calm and make good decisions in bad situations. I know that I can defend myself from most things now, and that just gives me a better perspective when I'm out and about. I'm not nervous or scared if people are confronting me. I'm able to stay level-headed and just see things clearly as they are and not do anything stupid because I'm scared of the other person. And that is really helpful in everyday life. Muay Thai has also taught me a lot about discipline and hard work. You cannot fake it until you make it when you do Muay Thai. If you work out hard and train smart, you'll become better, and if you don't do that, you won't become better. So when you're at the gym, all that really matters is like how much have you trained and how good are you. And it's very funny in tournaments, like amateur tournaments, you often see guys with like big muscles or scary tattoos, and very often these guys, they lose to the more normal looking guy, because the normal looking guy, he just trained harder and he's just better at Muay Thai. So tattoos won't help you and big muscles won't help you. The only thing that helps you is if you work hard and if you stay disciplined and train. And then another benefit is also that it is kind of meditative to train Muay Thai, because it's impossible to think about your everyday problems while you're working out. And after a workout, I always feel lighter and happier and just more calm and at ease. And I think there is something natural about moving and playing with other people like this. I think it's very healthy for the mind and the body to fight and have fun with it. It is something that most people, they never do, but I think that most people should do this on a regular basis, because you just feel amazing afterwards. I also really like the whole community and connection there is around Muay Thai. I think when you train hard with other people, that really sets a strong foundation to build relationships upon. I also really like the fact that it doesn't matter what you do outside the gym. The only thing that matters is your skill set in the gym. And it's just, a Muay Thai gym is just a great place to meet people from all walks of life. And I also really like the way you can travel with Muay Thai, and you can go to Thailand and you can train and you can learn about the culture and you can meet new people at different gyms while you're traveling around Thailand. And I've had so many great experiences doing that, and I can just highly recommend that you try it out as well. So I've had many crazy experiences training Muay Thai in the last 8 years. But there is one experience that I would like to tell you guys about, because I feel like it's a key moment from my journey. And it was 4 years ago. I had just started training with all the fighters at my gym, and we were about to finish up our class. And then right after that class, there was another class ready to begin, which means that there was like 30 people getting ready for their class, but also looking at all the fighters training. And then our coach, he told us to clinch for the last 10 minutes of this class. And I partnered up with like a 130 kilo, very experienced fighter. He is actually, he's fought a lot of professional fights, and he cannot find any opponents in Denmark at the moment because nobody wants to fight this guy. He's a really nice guy, I really like him, but he's also terrifying at the same time. So I'm there like clinching with this 130 kilo guy, and all the 30 people who are about to have their class, they are looking at us. And I'm just being completely destroyed by him. I mean, he's throwing me around and he's giving me knees in the stomach, and I have absolutely no chance. And then at one point he like grabs me really tight with like both hands on my neck like this, and he just knees me in the same place in my stomach over and over again. And then at one point my legs just give out and he lets go and I fall to the ground. And it's a very weird thing to look back upon now, because I remember that I just started crying, and it wasn't from the pain of him hitting me in the ribs. It was more from the realization that this guy, if he wanted to, he could kill me with his bare hands, and I was just absolutely helpless. There's nothing I could do about it. And that feeling of being a completely helpless grown man in front of a lot of people, I don't know, I think it just shocked me in a way that I had never been shocked before. And then he looked down, and I think he was quite surprised that I cried, but he just reacted in such a cool way that I still really admire him for, because he, without any fuss or anything, he just said, "Get up and go to the bathroom, wipe your face, and then come back when you're ready." And I then had to get up and walk with tears running down my face to the bathroom in front of all these people getting ready for their class. And I remember, wiping the tears off my face and looking myself in the mirror and being like, okay, what the f is going on? But then in that moment, I decided to go back in and finish up the class. And that feeling of, going back in there and finishing up strong and not giving up and not sitting down and not complaining about the world being unfair or like being weak, that feeling of going back in there and just continuing working out, it just changed me in a way that is very difficult to describe. I just felt so strong and empowered and mature in that moment, and I have really taken that with me since then, and it was a very powerful experience. So to recap everything I just said in this video, Muay Thai is absolutely amazing, and I honestly feel like it's one of the most important decisions that I have ever made in my adult life, is to start training Muay Thai 8 years ago. And if you have ever thought about trying out Muay Thai, I can highly recommend you do so. I don't think we are supposed to be weak and vulnerable. We are supposed to learn stuff like this. We are supposed to be strong and to be confident and to be able to defend ourselves. So this is my challenge to you. Find a gym in your local area and sign up for a Muay Thai intro class today. I know you will be fine doing so, even though it's scary to go there. You will be fine and you will never regret it. And so if you enjoyed this video, I think you would also enjoy this video where I take you for a day in the life of training at a Muay Thai camp in Thailand. And with that said, thank you so much for watching this video.